world do you and Key allow a Bronx-born and raised guy like Max to continue to jump on the bandwagon and say he's the leader of Laker Nation? How? He's a fraud. You root for your team, win, lose, or draw. Kick him back to New York.
I was
No.
host.
You do not have
I was the
jurisdiction in this
afternoon
court.
drive host, 7:10 a.m. in L.A.
This is Judge Key. Judge Key, you are the Laker fan of all fans. This is your town. You lay down the law on Mr. Kellerman.
We would not accept his application, nor do we want anyone like that around our organization, rooting from afar or up close.
You know the Lakers Mayorsville when you see them.
GJ and Max. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
All right, everybody. Whoa. What? Found some new ones.
Yeah, I see you. Do you know who this is?
No, it is Hotkey ROT 6224.
Incorrect.
So it's not the name of the band?
No.
Of the group? Or
No. Too short.
singer? Okay, we don't need to call names right now. What I do now? Don't listen to me. All right, what else?
No,
you got? I've heard that one before.
Not name calling. Too short.
Again,
The
but then-
rapper
Oh, that's
from
a rapper.
Oakland.
Oh, if I was a rapper, that'd be my name.
Do you know the name of this song?
I just learned the name of the rapper not even 2 seconds ago.
Blow your whistle. Do you know Too Short's favorite word?
Is it on air appropriate?
On some stations.
Am I allowed to use it?
I'm gonna venture to say no.
All
You
right.
probably can. Begins with a B. Dog. If you dig my drift.
Ah, okay.
But you gotta say it like short.
Never mind. No, I'm gonna go there. Hey, move the camera down just a tad. But so happy Monday.
Good Monday.
How was
sir.
your weekend?
It was solid. I cried this morning. I cried at 9:30 this morning.
When did someone call you too short or something?
No. One of my favorite basketball players of all time officially retired.
I thought he did retire a long time ago.
Oh, there they go. They can't let the man retire in peace without the jokes. Shouts out to my guy, Carmelo Anthony. 19 seasons in the association. Helped my Syracuse Orange get a national championship. Shouts out to Melo. 3 to the dome.
Seriously, the last team he played for did he join the Lakers?
Lakers.
But did he get legitimate playing time or no?
Sixth man for the Lakers.
But was that the 20 year? No, that was
No,
the 20.
that was after. That was
okay.
2 years after.
They brought him in with
was
Westbrook, and it was that bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last real good run he had was with Portland.
I remember that. That's something
doing 15, 16 for the Trailblazers.
Yeah, because we'll be talking about this here in a bit, but about Zeke Elliott, and I'm going to use that as a comparison of, okay, Zeke could still work in the league. He just has to have that mental switch that he flips to accept a new role. Carmelo wouldn't do that for the longest time, and once he did, that last good run you talked about, Portland, the Trailblazers, that was it. But we welcome everybody in. I hope everyone had a great weekend. A lot to dive into here today. Again, the Reds got swept by the New York Yankees. It was just everything I said was going to happen. I mean, let's see, Chad Kinser. Hold up. Let me make sure of it. He says, he goes, getting it. Best Too Short album ever.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Had
Chad,
the
good for you, dude.
remix.
Good
Had the
for you.
remix with Jay-Z on it. Yeah.
And he put the S in $, like in a dollar sign. So you know what? That's gonna be my new handle on Twitter. Too Short. 1410 Too Short. How about that?
Short dog.
But anyways, I hope everyone had a great weekend, as I said. But I'm Justin Kinner. He's Kev Nash.
What up, dog?
And now we can go. All right. Every Monday to start off the show, of course, we kind of like to do the is it a headline or clickbait? Is it news or not news? I just don't like to steal someone their show stuff. But that's the thing about these sports talk radio shows. Everyone always does a lot of the same stuff. They just change the name of it just to be more creative. I try to be creative. a little bit, but we'll see. But news or not news, that's not what we're calling it, but that's the gist of it. You hear that on Keyshawn, Jabel, and Max. But major headline or just clickbait? That's how we started off here today, Kev. So let's get right to it. Let's start off with your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes,
how about
sir.
this? Zeke Elliott, according to reports, was visiting over the weekend with your Pittsburgh Steelers. Is this a headline or is this just clickbait?
Clickbait. You got Najee Harris. You got Chris Warren, who was an undrafted free agent from last year. Put up 500 rushing yards to go along with Najee's over 1,000 yards rushing. You don't need to spend money on another backup running back like Ezekiel Elliott. So this is clickbait.
If you said the other running back's name is who?
Chris Warren out of Oklahoma State, undrafted free agent.
And you're for sure he's better than Zeke.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I did.
At this point in his career, yes.
Because, I mean, when we cover every team in the NFL, we know the main guys, but
yeah.
To strip it up, but that's your team, so you would know. Okay. So with this, I think it's more clickbaitish. I think it's more not news, but because it's the name Zeke and because it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, because it's the AFC North, and because Zeke is he's just a bruiser of a runner.
Mm-hmm.
That's Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
That has Mike Tomlin and the Steelers written all over it. But you're right. He's not going to cost a lot of money as far as what he's making now, what he was making with the Dallas Cowboys, but he will be making a lot of money to be the second or the third string running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, if that's the case. Wasn't really sure of the situation with Warren, so that's interesting. But at the end of the day, as a Browns fan, I'm not super, like if the Browns sign him, I'm happy with it. Concerns, but I'm happy with. But I know I still respect Zeke as a runner because I don't want him in Cincinnati. I don't want him in Pittsburgh. I don't think it's a major headline, but it is interesting. As of last week, there were two teams that he had narrowed it down to, and I forgot the other one. Cleveland was one of them.
Yeah.
But visiting with Pittsburgh over the weekend, maybe Pittsburgh's just doing their due diligence. I think every team should, and I think he should as well. I don't think it hurts for him to meet with as many teams as possible. He still has to accept his new role, which is going to be a second-tier running back, and he has to accept second-tier running back pay. But good for him for at least trying, taking time to meet with these teams. But I mean, they would utilize him well, but I don't think it makes sense from a financial standpoint, especially if you already have two runners there.
Yeah. So Najee Harris for last year, 272 carries, over 1,000 yards. Jalen Warren, not Chris Warren, 77 carries for 380 yards rushing, and then their third running back, Benny Snell from Columbus, Ohio, by the way, 20 carries for 90 yards. You think Zeke is going to be down for 20 carries in a season? Like, why would he do that to himself?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But, you do have to kick the tires on it. You do have to see where a player is coming from. And like they kind of do with the NFL draft, you're not only always interviewing a guy because you want him on your team, you're seeing what the other team could potentially be getting out of that player. So it goes on both sides. He needs to do his due diligence and listen to the Pittsburgh Steelers and vice versa.
Chad Kintzer's on Facebook. He goes, I could see Jadeveon Clowney wanting to join Pittsburgh. Chad, is that just your opinion? Did you see something about that? I haven't come across. Are you just saying you think that's a fit right there? Where are you with that? I mean, it's not a pass rusher, but he always gets paid. He finds a way to get paid, and his production never matches the pay. It drives me crazy. But
last productive season he had was with the Seahawks. I mean, I've never seen him play. He played in the traditional 4-down lineman set. I've never seen him play in what the Pittsburgh Steelers run before, so I'm not sure how that will work.
I think it's more of a name than anything.
Yeah.
He said he saw it on Facebook, I guess. Okay.
So Facebook got to be real.
We'll keep an eye out for that as well. All right, news or not news, headline or just clickbait, let's keep it going. How about this one? We'll stay with your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey!
Big Ben's getting criticized.
Oh, no. What'd he do now?
I get to my opinion in a second, but I knew it was going to get a reaction. But Big Ben, in a recent interview, said that, and he even admitted that, hey, I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, but he was kind of rooting for Kenny Pickett to fail early on. That he was not he said he feels bad, and he goes, he knows it's not right. But he said that ultimately that he was not pulling for Kenny Pickett. He was kind of hoping that, he would come in and struggle and not do well. But he did say, because he knows it's wrong and all this stuff. And, he made sure to keep clarifying that. But of course, it's taken off. So headline or just clickbait, Big Ben saying he was kind of hoping Kenny Pickett would fail.
Man, this is a headline. This is a headline because it dawns back to when Big Ben was in his first couple years. You heard a lot of things about Terry Bradshaw not rooting for him. So it's kind of just funny how we talk about older quarterbacks and how they treat the up and coming quarterbacks. We saw everything that happened with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Well, look what happened to Aaron Rodgers. He turned into Brett Favre. Big Ben has turned into Terry Bradshaw. So it is real news. It's real news because guess what? You retired. It wasn't like they drafted him and you were battling for a spot. You were retired. You hung it up. It was over. You had a great career. You're a Hall of Famer. One of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. But it's over. Your career's done. So why not root for him, the replacement, for the team that you are always going to be associated with? When they do better, that means you get more interviews. That means you get more speaking engagements. That means, hey, they always show your clips. Whenever Kenny Pickett eventually breaks the record, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be your record that they're going to be talking about. This is a hater move, man.
I think it's clickbait. So hold on. What did you say? It was a headline?
Headline.
I think it's being made a headline. I think it's more clickbait than anything for this reason right here. This is just natural human being instinctual stuff. I think you could be a team player and still have by the reason a lot of in our industry, a lot of sports talk shows. I've heard Colin Cowherd talk about this as well. Colin Cowherd is one of the biggest names in sports talk. He has doubts. Yeah, he worries about someone coming up to replace him.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard him do podcasts and stuff where he's talked about he's he's at the point in his career where he finally trusts himself and he trusts his network. But there's points where he would not him and his wife, his ex-wives, he's got divorced before, and because he wouldn't take off.
Right.
He was terrified to take off. You bring someone else in, they fill in for you for a week. And you have with the way numbers work. Oh man, that was the best week of radio we've had in a while. That's Colin Cowherd worried about someone coming in to replace him. If guys like that who's really good at his job, I just feel I think a lot of people. I mean, look, not meaning to bring up LeBron versus MJ, but Michael's very kind of distant from LeBron. Michael's very he doesn't publicly acknowledge LeBron's greatness often. I mean, you have to pull teeth to get him to respond on it. They don't dislike one another, but MJ that he wants his spot as the GOAT. We could talk about the conspiracy theories of the timing of releasing the documentary right after LeBron wins the title. We could talk about all that. Maybe there's something to it, but the point is he doesn't hate LeBron. He doesn't want him to fail, but him succeeding definitely probably brings out the competitive spirit in him. It's just Big Ben being competitive. I have no issue with it. And you know what I liked? An athlete being honest for once in the media. No, I think it's great. I couldn't get the job done, so I hope he comes in and gets I'm sure he wants Pittsburgh to win, and he'll cheer for them when they win in the playoffs. But at the time, that's fresh off of his retirement. He didn't want it to seem like, oh man, it's the same roster that I had, and then he comes in and leads him to the playoffs. Maybe it was me. I have no problem with it, but I know why this is being made a headline. I just think it's more clickbait than anything. But
yeah,
I appreciate his honesty.
Yeah, I appreciate the honesty. I just find the parallels just so crazy between him and Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw was saying the same things about him, and it proves this whole thing is just one big circle because you are eventually become that old curmudgeon. That's who you're going to become eventually in due time. Just I'm the hip hop guy. I love hip hop music and everything like that. But some of the stuff that I listen to nowadays, I'm just what is this? And I find myself sounding like my uncle. Sounding like my uncle. No, that's nothing but a sample of this song. Well, I'm old enough to know and recognize the sample of this song. So I'm becoming older and becoming more curmudgeon every single day.
Well, half the times what I think is a sample of this song, that song was actually a sample of a song from
exactly.
You notice a lot of these songs are being just recycled. Or
yes.
And that's for, someone like me, Too Short, I'm just saying. So,
do you know this song playing right now?
What?
Oh, no, the last one. Do you know this song playing right now?
Rotator 5526. Whoa, what's the name of that? I can't read the name of that. Why did we type the name of that song in that? I'm not reading that one. Oh, now 2 songs are playing at once. Hold up. Is this a mashup?
Wow. Oh, man.
Let's do a third one.
Oh, gosh. Kenner on the 1s and 2s. They're supposed to kind of match, right?
No. There we go.
Do you know the name of this? Oh, look at you.
I can read. It's just
gosh, I thought it was something.
Yeah, but,
Who raps it? Who raps it? Quickly.
No idea.
Begins with a J.
Instrumental, dude. I got nothing. I'm not even gonna guess. Guessing is more embarrassing than just not saying that you don't know. There's nothing wrong in life with saying
Jermaine Dupri and Jay-Z.
Oh, you meant the letter J. I could have said J. I know it's J-Y, but I mean Jay-Z. Okay. All right, Kenner and Cap 1410 ESPN Radio. Last one here. News or not news, headline or clickbait. And this one we already touched on a little bit, but Carmelo Anthony has announced that he is retiring from basketball after 19 seasons in the NBA.
headline, man. Top 10, top 9 scorer of all time in the association, 19 seasons in the association, 10-time All-Star in the association, national champion in college, 3-time gold medalist. It is a headline. Melo.
So I'm not trying to stir the pot.
Oh,
so
no.
relax.
Oh,
It's
no.
a headline, but I think a lot of people today were like, I thought he was already retired. I mean, you have to announce it. But did he retire? Did the league retire him? I mean, at the end of the day, bottom line, doesn't erase his accomplishments. It's nothing like that. But it's like the NBA, the problem with the NBA going so scoring heavy is we not lose respect. We lose perspective of just how good Carmelo Anthony is. Because now everyone scores. Not everyone's Carmelo Anthony, but everyone scores. And for like the fringe basketball fans out there, we just, all we hear the same talking points. They don't play defense in the NBA. Everyone
Right.
scores. So I feel like fans today don't respect what it takes. I mean, LeBron James is the league's all-time leading scorer. That was untouchable. But everyone, I heard that all through that stretch when he became everyone scores. Everyone scored. And I'm like, holy crap. So I'm not diminishing Carmelo Anthony here, but I'm talking from the perspective, what seems like the popular perception is he was a scorer. He didn't win any titles. He didn't do this because that's what we do. We go right away to the negative. I'm a big Melo fan. I was loved when LeBron came in the league. That was supposed to be that like Bird Jordan, like that rivalry and all that stuff. In fact, those two pissed everyone off because they loved each other before every game and after the game. Like, no, you should hate each other, like Jordan and Bird and blah blah blah. But I love them Nuggets teams early on. For one, I miss those jerseys.
Yes.
I think Jokic would look a lot cooler in some of those that powder blue or whatever the hell not powder blue, whatever the hell blue you want to call that. But when Allen Iverson was there, that was my favorite stretch for Melo. I thought his reputation took a huge hit when he went to New York because obviously couldn't elevate it and all this stuff. And I mean, not so much him. New York's a dumpster fire. I mean, even when they go on little streaks like they have recently, they always find a way to mess it up. So we'll see what happens. But no, that's all. It's just like I think like because the league is so scoring heavy, it just appreciates the value of those guys. It's not fair, but that just seems to be the reality of it. I mean, we do this all the time now with like Patrick Mahomes and others. I hear a lot of older heads that will try to devalue what Patrick Mahomes and guys like Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. Well, yeah, it's a passing league.
Right.
I'll take a Dan Marino in a running league doing what these guys are doing now and blah, blah, blah. I get that, understand it, but we do this in every sport, and that's what's happening right now. So,
oh, yeah, for sure. The one thing about the guys from especially like that era that Melo came in and Kobe Bryant for that matter, they played in a transitional era where twos were still respected. Like now it's, hey man, it's you either got a dunk or a layup or a three. Like that's it. So when you're able to still score at the rate that he was able to score at their era when you're shooting twos and then he morphed into a 3-point shooter as well, that has to be commended. I mean, top 9 scores of all time. I mean, there's currently 450 players in the NBA right now. So multiply that 450 times 75. That's how many years the NBA has been around, 75 years. So he's top 9 of all time. Like, that's one heck of an accomplishment. And yeah, you're right. He didn't win a chip. Only went to the Western Conference Final one time. No doubt about it. That's on the resume, but everything else is on that resume as well.
So let me ask you, and by the way, not who's a better scorer, who had a better career? Better career. Actually, we'll tease this going into the next one because I got some Buckeye stuff I want to get to. They released the line, by the way, on Ohio State, Indiana. And I find this interesting. And there's a point about this Indiana game that I'm not picking Ohio State to lose, but it does worry me playing at Indiana. We'll get to that coming up around the corner. But Carmelo Anthony retires, but better career. Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady. We'll go down a couple names, and I'm curious your take on who had the better career of some of these other guys that we associate with scoring that didn't ultimately win titles, and this, like what differentiates them other than, well, he just scored more points than them. But I am curious who had the better career of some of these guys. We'll get to that. 518-1410 if you want to jump in on the conversation. You can do so now. We'll be right back.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Our forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies and 55 tonight. Sunshine 85 for Tuesday, Wednesday, sunny and 84. I'm Rick Schrempf for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Make sure that your home's heating and cooling system is being cared for by your local Lennox Premier dealer, William Brockman & Sons Heating and Air Conditioning. They're offering special saving opportunities on a new Lennox system. So call them today at 937-222-8638 or visit online at DaytonHeatingandCooling.com to learn more. Dealer license number, Ohio license number 14911.
I can't wait for what's next, even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist-prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
At Harley-Davidson of Xenia, the atmosphere is positively electric as we look to the future. Our name may have changed, but Harley-Davidson of Xenia has been locally owned since 1984. Under our new management, the staff and store are buzzing to get you set up for the open road. Whether you're shopping for merchandise, a new bike, or just need some maintenance on your current ride, Harley-Davidson of Xenia is here for you. Visit us online to learn more and to place a reservation on your new bike. hdofxenia.com.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment, the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. The versatile lineup features performance-matched attachments to help you make the most of your land. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months. Now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/offers for full disclaimer.
Stop by Columbus Equipment in Columbus, Dayton, or Toledo to see their full line of Kubota construction equipment, or check them out online at ColumbusEquipment.com.
By now, you should know Audio Etc. has all the same sales and deals on TVs and projectors as everyone else. But did you know we also have some of the world's best hi-fi? Hi, this is Kirby from Audio Etc. And we do have some of the best home theater, high-fidelity gear on the planet. Not only do we have your favorite brands like Clip speakers and SVS subwoofers, but audiophile greats from Bowers & Wilkins, Kef, NAD, Marantz, Cambridge, Mark Levinson, and plenty of vinyl and tube gear, plus exotics you only see in the magazines. Stop by today and visit Audio Etc.'s crazy cool showroom and see and audition the best audio and video has to offer. While you're in, check out our huge selection of pre-owned vintage gear, a great way to afford great gear otherwise out of reach, or revisit old classics. Audio Etc. Sound advice you can trust. Audio Etc. 551 Congress Park Drive at the corner of Paragon in Centerville, or call 434-9770.
Audio Etc.'s crazy cool showroom.
With over 15 years of experience as your local lawn health provider, Lawn Plus knows what it takes to provide a thick, healthy lawn. We offer fertilization and weed control programs, aeration and seeding, as the best defense against weeds is a thick turf. If your current lawn care company is providing 6 to 8 applications, that is far too many. We offer the highest quality products and service to get the best results in just 4 applications a year. Call us today at 937-839-LAWN, and remember, if you give a weed an inch, it'll take a yard.
You have empty office space to fill or home office to create. You know what you need. You know what you'd like. But you also have a pretty good idea after you've shopped around the usual places what you need and what you like might not happen. Well, then you haven't been to Charles Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. Nobody has their selection. Nobody has their discounts. And every week, there's something new. If you need office furniture, Larrick's Warehouse Outlet can sell it to you for half the price and below manufacturer's selected prices. Half price and below on hundreds of items. Selection from budget to the best. Really, desks from $50 to $5,000. Filing cabinets from $25 to $500. Before you go anywhere else, do yourself a favor and come to Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. With 25,000 square feet of selection, you're not going to go anywhere else. Larrick's Warehouse Outlet at 23 McOil Avenue, Dayton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Larrick's, continuing the tradition.
When they're investigating, we can't stop watching. This month on BritBox, sit back, relax, and enjoy watching the detectives. Discover Britain's most bingeable mysteries, including the brand new season of Grace, the hit series based on the books by best-selling author Peter James. Unwind with the detectives you could watch all night long. Stream them all now exclusively on BritBox. Endlessly intriguing. Start your free trial at BritBox.com.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Like to shop local? Go to ComparianInsurance.com. Their agents are local insurance experts finding you the right insurance at the right price from national carriers. Comparian Insurance Agency. Local agents. Expert advice.
All sports, all the time. This is 1410 ESPN Radio.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, live here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. Head to wingam.com right now. There's a couple opportunities to win some cool prizes. Reds fans, while you're still invested in the team, although I know you're probably this close to checking out, but you can win a family 4-pack of Reds tickets by going to wingam.com. You can register. It is free. The only thing it'll cost you is a few moments of your time. So head there for a chance to win a family 4-pack of Reds tickets. Also, for you wrestling fans out there, wrestling, I know, WWE SummerSlam will be live at Ford Field on Saturday, August 5th. You can win tickets to see the biggest show of the summer for wrestling fans, of course, with World Wrestling Entertainment. So check it out. Register. Only thing it costs you is a few seconds of your time. You can register. What is it? Daily? You can register daily. So every day, the more you register, the more you do. You could follow the Facebook page. There's a bunch of prompts that you follow.
Bonus entries,
and they will give. Yeah, the more those things you follow, the more opportunities you'll have to win these tickets. We see a ton of people going and taking advantage of that. The SummerSlam ticket, that's a hot ticket right now.
Yes, absolutely. You talked about the bonus entries. Some of those bonus entries are following the station's Facebook page, my personal Instagram or Twitter page, Kenner's personal Instagram and Twitter page. Get your bonus entry. So do that so you can win these tickets. And one lucky person is going to win premium seats. So, while some people are sitting up a little farther back, you could be sitting on the floor. Some sweat could drip on you.
Yeah, again, it could be about 80,000 people at this. It's pretty cool. This is the closest that SummerSlam's been here in quite some time. So it's pretty neat. Other opportunities to win some tickets. Donnell Rawlings, you can have a chance to win tickets to see him coming up at Clark State. That's on May 26th. So go register there. And then you can also, thanks to our friends at Titan Graphics, you have a chance to win $2,000 for your dad on Father's Day. How about that?
Money.
Just go to wingam.com and click on the win tab at the top, current contest, and just register for everything. Why not? Cost you some time. That's it. And we all know everyone has time. No one's busy. No one's busy anymore.
Especially you.
Oh, especially me. Or
it's your season, man.
It is. I'm looking all tan too and everything. Got the golfer's tan, by the way. Look, for those of you who see.
Oh,
look at that. I don't have a glove on, I promise. That's just the tan line right there.
Have you seen that Wendy's commercial about the strawberry frosty?
Do I look like a strawberry frosty? I'm too short, strawberry frosty. Is that my rap name?
No, it is the employee that works at Wendy's and they're talking about the new strawberry frosties, and he's like kind of like outside all the time trying to get people to come in and try the strawberry frosty, and he's like super bright red like you, and he peels back his shirt, shows that the top layer isn't so red, kind of like how your hand is.
So like, and then my forearm's really dark. And then sometimes this part underneath the shirt line will get like a little pink from the sunburn, and then pale as can be up above. I look like a big old container of Neapolitan ice cream. I mean, it just it is bathed. So there's that. All right, Kenner and Cav, 1410 Wing AM. Carmelo Anthony retired today, and we were talking about this a little bit ago, but Carmelo Anthony, one of the best players of all time. And the one thing I think that has kind of hurt Carmelo Anthony is the fact that like he's known for being one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history. But the one thing that works against that perception now is the fact that the NBA is such a high scoring league from a team perspective to individual perspective. I forgot we hadn't tracked it in a while, but there was a stretch where I remember me and you were talking NBA one time. I said, man, about 13 years ago, only like 4 players were averaging like 30 points. And now I think close 12 were averaging like 29 points a game or more. I haven't checked it to see how it finished, but this was like a mid-season thing. But like everyone's like a lot more guys score at a much higher clip in today's game than back then. So for the a lot of fans that follow the NBA, I mean, not NBA diehards, but a lot of times the common fans or the casual fans, they'll just say, well, everyone scores.
Right.
So Carmelo Anthony, without winning a league MVP, without having a ton of, accolades like that, no NBA championships or anything like that, there's not a whole lot to go on other than, and you have to know basketball to know that when we say he's one of the best scorers, he's one of the best scorers of all time.
Right.
But better career, Kevin, I'll toss this out here. I'll make sure we get the little NBA music. Better career, Vince Carter, Carmelo Anthony.
I'm going to go with Melo. Better career of all time. When Vince transitioned to like the 6-man thing, he started getting some DMPs. Like Melo never got DMP'd. He was always playing. So I think Vince obviously played 20 years, right? Vince played more than 20 years. I want to say like 22 years in the association. So I'm going to go with Melo having a better career.
So I like Vince. The better player, no doubt about it, is Carmelo. But that's no disrespect to Vince, because Vince was a 25 per game scorer when he was at his peak. But he was a walking highlight film too. I mean, just can dunk over anybody. It was unbelievable. The DMPs you talked about, he became a glorified role player for about 7-8 years.
Yeah.
The 6th-man role was about 4 years.
Yeah, that run that when he was with Dallas, that's when he was like, all right, man, I'll be a 6th man.
Did he win the title with?
No, he wasn't on that team. Nope. Okay. Yeah, J Kidd. Yep.
By the way, one of my favorite teams growing up. I mean, I was a ginormous Lakers fan. I know, real, typical Cowboys fan. Lakers, man, that was cool seeing my Yankees over the weekend. But no, it was interesting because those Nets teams were just always amazing. That was before Vince got there, but that was when you had Kenyon Martin, and Jason Kidd and Richard Jefferson and Kerry Kittles and Van Horn and all those guys. And then Jason Collins, and then you end up, a little bit later, they kind of retooled it a bit. And then you had Kenyon Martin on one side and not Richard Jefferson, Vince Carter on the other. And you still got a little bit of the high flying Vince Carter in there for a few years. But I thought his career was more graceful. I thought he gracefully exited the game better than Melo. That's not a shot at Melo, but I think a much longer career and he was more productive. If Melo would have accepted that role that he had in Portland sooner, I think we would have got. I think he might even have I don't know about still be playing, but I think it would have been a more graceful transition as he regressed as he got older. But he had to wait. And I've always said people who rip athletes for that, I don't know why. I respect the fact that AI said, yeah, I'm not going to be a 6th man. I'm not going to come off the bench.
Yeah.
People ripped him for that. I ain't ripping him for that. That's called self-awareness. And if you're if you're not willing to accept it, but you keep signing with teams, you become a cancer in the locker room. Right. Now you become a problem. That's where it was like with Carmelo a little bit. I was starting to get annoyed with Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard aged gracefully towards the end once he accepted that role with the Lakers, I know he started, but he wasn't the Dwight Howard he was with the Magic 10, 12 years ago. He was a dog.
Changed on him. Game changed on him a ton.
Yeah, and he was actually, what's wild, he's in better shape, more athletic, and slimmer in his not so productive days than when he was dominating the league. So it was just wild. But yeah, I like Vince Carter's career slightly better, but I think if a team says you want to draft a Vince Carter or a Carmelo, I think you're going to draft a Melo. at the end of the day. But what about Tracy McGrady? Because I've always said that T-Mac, and this sounds like I'm disrespecting him, I'm not, was a poor man's Melo. But I honestly think, Kevin, I could be wrong. I thought Tracy McGrady had more of an impact on the game than him. This sounds a little wild, but like the shoes,
right?
The branding. I thought T-Mac just had more swag to him a little bit. I thought he just carried himself differently. And again, no disrespect to Melo. I was a huge T-Mac fan growing up as well. But where are you at with that? T-Mac?
That's a tough one. That's a very tough one for me because at a point in his career, you could say Tracy McGrady was, 1B to Kobe Bryant as the best player, the individual player in the NBA. So many scoring titles. And then you go look at, his all-time scoring. He's not even in the top 20. T-Mac, because obviously he came straight out of high school and he had, quote unquote, his DNPs during his first 2 years with Toronto. And then he had his years when he was playing with I want to say the Spurs and everything like that. So that middle chunk, that Orlando and early Houston, T-Mac was incredible. But I think the longevity of Melo's career, because Melo has basically 3 phases of his career. He has his super young days, athletic days with the Nuggets, then his basically jump shooter, perimeter days with the Knicks, and then the role playing days with, be it OKC or the Portland Trailblazers. So overall, career wise, I would still go with Melo.
All right. So, and I just broke a pen. Hopefully no ink happened to me the other day. ADD moment. Sorry, it's a Monday. Hope everyone had a great weekend, by the way, for just joining us. Carmelo Anthony retired, so just back and forth, just trying to top 10 scorer of all time, number 9 on the all-time scoring list. But, we think about guys like Vince Carter, who was a scorer, play a little bit better defense and all that. But he's above names like that, though. You have your Vince Carters, your Tracy McGrady's. But what separates, in your opinion, what separates Carmelo from them then? Because everyone, and by the way, a lot of people in here, they're all saying they take Vince Carter over him. Justin Nichols says Vince Carter. Sean Matthews says Vince Carter.
VC.
Steve Stetler says, come on, man. Melo couldn't spell defense. Chad Kinser said Kenner works at Wendy's for a side gig. Speaking of side gigs, no. So interesting seeing some of these come in.
I think the impact of Vince Carter, what he was able to do highlight wise, is just speaks volumes about his game and his career. Because what Melo did wasn't all right, man, I'm going to jump over somebody's head. Or I'm going to do a reverse 360 windmill in the dunk contest, or I'm not going to basically stick my entire body in the rim. Those are wild moments. They used to just talking about hey, put the ball in the hole. Melo did that. But if somebody just said man, who would you rather watch play basketball? I'd probably say I'd rather watch Vince Carter play. I'd definitely rather watch Tracy McGrady play, but we talking about career, not highlights.
Do you hold it against Carmelo about the Jeremy Lin thing where
no,
he was, a lot of people using that against him, but that's why I like Vince, better teammate, that type of stuff. Now I say that I didn't like him. Let me just be blunt. I thought it was when he went to New York, he chased the bag, got the bag, knowing that what good pieces they had to trade to get you, and that they will have not a lot of money to get other pieces to put around you. And the Knicks weren't a very good organization to begin with. It just seemed, okay, I just want my money. Then you have Jeremy Lin, the Linsanity thing takes off, and then you find out the weird behind the scenes stuff that was going on with that he took exception to it and stuff instead of just being excited about that. That stuff does rub me the wrong way because feel like the better teammates,
right?
Vince Carter and others, but then the teammate that he became late in his career as he matured. I mean, hell, he got his money and became a good teammate. Wish it would have, resulted in a title. But I think that does work. I mean, let's just be clear, that does work against him as far as perception goes.
I think all that stuff kind of gets morphed in there because the Linsanity stuff happened when everybody left. Because when he showed up, Maury Stoudemire was there. And then that's when when JR showed up, that's when they made the run in the playoffs where they finally won their first playoff series in 18 years.
Was that with Shumpert?
Yeah, Mon Shumpert. So then Linsanity showed up after Shump and JR got traded to the Cavs. So the team was basically torn apart and he was the only guy, quote unquote, still left there. So, like, I think all that kind of stuff kind of gets lumped together because, like, all right, man, the Knicks run and you don't remember it in pieces, just like you don't remember the Nuggets run in pieces. You remember, like, all right, yeah, Allen Iverson, but that really wasn't the real good team that he was on. It was the Chauncey Billups team that they was on that went to the Western Conference Finals that lost to the Lakers in 6. So it's kind of like phases of those tenures there. So I don't hold that against him. I mean, he was the superstar, and I mean, the 9 times out of 10, the superstar of the team dictates what happens on the team. Like we see that with what's going on in LeBron's entire career, what's happening with Kobe's entire career, what happens to plenty of great players' career. Like they kind of dictate how things go. And we kind of can see that also with Linsanity because he's no longer in the association either. And he wasn't in the association too much longer after Linsanity.
It was just a quick
blip on the radar.
It was Linsanity, dude. Let's see. Coming back to this, Jacob Fightmaster wants to know what you guys say. Kevin Durant right now has done more than Melo has in his entire career.
Yes, absolutely.
Won an MVP,
league MVP, 2 championships.
Those don't count though. Remember?
No, they count. He's already, if I'm not mistaken, he's already held a Melo in all-time scorer in the NBA. If he isn't, he will be. So, like, people always ask me because they know I'm a big Melo fan. It's like, well, he's number 9 now. Where is it going to be ultimately? I was like, probably like 11. Guys like Durant are going to pass him. But I was looking at this list, and I'm looking at this list right now, all-time scorers. Where do you think James Harden is on this list currently?
I keep thinking he's like younger. He's towards the back of his career. Where he's at in the list as far as what, like top 25, top 25?
He is number 25.
Number 25.
Top
25.
So I used to think like, oh man, James Harden's gonna pass him. James Harden's not catching Carmelo Anthony and scoring. You seen him these last couple of years? He's not catching him. He's not gonna get to Vince Carter, and Vince Carter's at 20. I'm looking at Dwayne Wade. Where do you think he is?
Top 15?
32.
Jesus.
He is 3 spots ahead of Gary Payton, who was not a scorer.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but like that is funny that Gary Payton's that close. Like you do like for perspective, when you see some of the names around some of these guys, you're like, that's how good these scorers are. That's
exactly
LeBron being number 1, Carmelo being where he's at, Kevin Durant's being where he's at. Like all these guys have come within the last 2 decades, 3 decades. I mean, that's what's wild about all of that.
Steph Curry.
Now that's a good one. Is he top 20?
No.
Really?
Nope.
All right.
38.
Gary Payton. How many years did Gary Payton play?
Gary Payton. Let's see. Let's find out. Let's see what the Google machine.
See, the problem is I'm falling for the glove. I'm falling for. I mean,
because that's the thing.
He was known for his
defense,
I
mean,
but like,
exactly. But 16 points a game for his career, and I mean, Steph is like at 20 something points per game for his career. Gary Payton played 14 seasons in the NBA.
Steph's been around a minute.
Yeah, so like that tells you right there. Like, I mean, look, David Robinson is at 44, and David Robinson had a 71-point game. Like that. Like, so when people talk like, oh man, scoring is super easy. Is it? Because look at all these guys that we know put the ball in the hole, like a Allen Iverson. We know that's that's pretty much his bag. 28.
And that is why LeBron James is the league's all-time leading scorer. So you thought I was going to go somewhere else with it.
No, but the most alarming, or not alarming, the one that stands out to me the most is Reggie Miller at 22. I wouldn't imagine he would be that
I would
high.
associate that with like the Steph Curry type thing.
I wouldn't
imagine. He's ahead of Steph.
Yeah. Now, so like I used to think Melo would be like, 15 when I'm done watching the NBA. I'm not sure. I think he probably so KD is at 13. So he'll catch Melo. He'll be top 10 when it's all said and done. But like there's not another active player on this list until you get down to James Harden at 25.
All right, Kenner and Kev, 1410 ESPN Radio. Speaking of the NBA, how about tonight? The Los Angeles Lakers, the Denver Nuggets. Lakers trying to fight off the sweep, and that's 8:30 tonight. And then tomorrow, Celtics and Heat will go again, and the Heat will try to close out the Celtics. And then we'll have to wait another month for the finals to get here. June 1st is game 1 of the NBA Finals. It is what today? The 21st, 22nd?
22nd.
So that's about 10 days, a week.
Well, the Lakers and the Celtics need to do their job and prolong these series.
Just force a game 5, maybe flirt with a game 6 or something. But oofa. Interesting little dynamic there. This has been a great playoffs. In fact, when we come back, people keep talking about, including me and the NBA, they want Lakers Celtics. What they don't want is Nuggets Heat. And I'm here to tell you that I don't think the NBA cares who's in the NBA Finals. And there's another sport. Actually, it's the same sport. It's basketball. College basketball is proof that I don't think a particular entity cares who's in the championship game. We'll talk about that when we come back. Kenner and Cap 1410 Wingham. Plus, talk a little Ohio State. Vegas odds come out. They're a significant favorite over Indiana. No surprise there. We'll be right back.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Hi, I'm Montgomery County Clerk of Courts Mike Foley.
And I'm Kettering Clerk of Court Rob Scott.
We're teaming up together to expand access to justice in our community. Our Help Center provides legal information and access to legal programs free of charge.
The Help Center can't provide legal advice, but if you need information on a wide range of legal issues, check in with the Help Center at Kettering Municipal Courthouse on the second and third Mondays of the month at no cost to you.
I'm Montgomery County Clerk of Courts Mike Foley.
And I'm Kettering Clerk of Court Rob Scott.
Visit courthouse2u.com.
If you haven't been to Chevrolet of Troy, you have to stop in today. What makes us different? A state-of-the-art dealership offering experience, service, parts, and body shop. We're the only dealership in Miami County with an on-site body shop, and we make it easy with experienced, tenured professionals ready to answer your questions and diagnose your vehicle quickly. Our priority is customer service. Make Chevrolet of Troy your first choice for service, parts, and body shop. 1375 South Market Street and online at ChevroletofTroy.com.
Bring that big bet energy this summer with Superbook Sports. Bo Bishop here, and Superbook Sports is the most trusted name in sports betting. And right now, use the promo code ColumbusFan to score up to $250 with their first bet bonus. Win or lose, they will match your first bet up to $250 with the promo code ColumbusFan. Simply visit Superbook.com for terms and conditions, or download the Superbook Ohio app in the App Store today. Enter the promo code ColumbusFan, and you'll get $250 courtesy of Superbook Sports. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
Want to experience a truly unbeatable trio? Stop by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken and try a 3-piece strips meal at a great price. You'll get 3 of our freshly marinated honey-dipped premium strips, 1 famous dipping sauce, 2 unbeatable sides, and a fluffy biscuit. It's the trifecta of craveable chicken. Discover why premium strips make the perfect meal. Pick up a 3-piece strips meal from Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Only at Lee's. Famous for chicken.
In my job, I never held back. I played hurt, and I pushed through the pain. Sound familiar?
Football legend Emmitt Smith had a reputation for just grinding through the injuries and pain over and over. That may be you. And QC Kinetics sees patients every day who are exhausted from dealing with the persistent pain.
A lot of you work physically demanding jobs. You stand, you climb, you bend down, you reach up, and if you have joint pain, it takes all you got to earn a living. but it's time you know about QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the leaders in regenerative treatments, help relieve that debilitating joint pain without surgeries or downtime. These are natural solutions that use your body's own healing properties to give you lasting relief from the soreness and achiness.
You got a job to do. I get it. But now you don't have to suffer through the pain. Check out my friends over at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 937-936-0325. That's 937-936-0325. 937-936-0325.
$5,000 sign-on bonus. That's right. My friends at Cordell Transportation are now hiring experienced Class A CDL drivers with excellent work history. If that's you, apply now. Cordell Transportation offers home daily dedicated lanes, no-touch freight, and brand new equipment, plus a $5,000 sign-on bonus paid over 18 months, paid orientation, and company 401k with company match. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation, driven to succeed.
MiamiValleyRoads.org is the source for details on major road construction projects in our region, including commute solutions to save time, money, and stress. Track carpooling, biking, or taking transit when possible. Adjust your schedule or find an alternate route around construction to reduce traffic congestion and air pollution. ODOT and MVRPC are working to continue shaping the region's future together. Visit MiamiValleyRoads.org for a list of projects from ODOT and resources to improve your commute, or call 937-223-SAVE.
Dayton's Jewish Cultural Festival is a celebration of music, culture, food, and learning. The Jewish Cultural Festival is free Sunday, June 11th at Temple Israel on Riverside Drive. For more info, go to tidayton.org.
Soccer fans, stand up. Your Dayton Dutch Lions FC are ready to take the field at DOC Stadium in West Carrollton. Bring all your family and friends to experience great soccer in our own backyard with 10 home games starting May 31st. This season promises non-stop excitement, so grab your jerseys and head over to ddlfc.com to secure your tickets and very affordable season passes now. Don't miss out on the action. Visit ddlfc.com for updates, schedules, and exclusive offers. Be there and let's roar together.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Speedway is here for you. Hot coffee is fresh or it's free. Offer good through 12/31/23. Visit participating store where coffee was purchased for details.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Justin Kinner, Kevin Nash with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. So what's interesting, well, real quick, before we get into this, you said you had a question. Carmelo Anthony retired. We talked about kind of a couple other former NBA players and stars that were like, well, who had a better career? Carmelo Anthony, a better player than Vince Carter, better than T-Mac, but who had the better career? Appreciate the feedback on that on the Facebook page and YouTube channel. But you had another Carmelo question.
Yeah, to that, I would say Melo is a better player and had a better career than Vince. I say that he had a better career than T-Mac, but I think T-Mac is a better player. Paul Pierce, obviously, removing the NBA championship and the finals MVP, who had a better career? If you could remove that or scratch that, just who's a better basketball player?
Melo.
Okay.
Man, Pierce was good defender too.
Paul Pierce was an elite defender for like a 3-year stretch.
But I don't like his personality. So that may, me, I'm always able to be professional and separate. I still think I'd take Melo. But Pierce was pretty damn good too. I mean, you weren't getting a big gap in points per game. I mean, total points, yes. If you're talking about an individual score and all that, but the Celtics made many. I mean, with multiple cast of characters in Boston, with him being the centerpiece of it.
Yep.
Obviously winning a championship, been to multiple finals. They've been to a ton of Eastern Conference finals, even going back to the early 2000s when it was one of my favorite Celtics teams early on growing up, when they were going up against the Nets in the Eastern Conference finals. Antoine Walker, who, his body treats him like Kinner's does.
Eating good.
I mean, and yeah. So, but yeah, obviously Pierce the better career, but Melo's better, right? Like
I want to say so, but you talk about those years with Antoine Walker. I mean, he was killing them in the playoffs versus the Nets, killing them. And then obviously, kind of what puts him over the top is that playoff run to win the championship over the Lakers. He's a finals MVP, everything like that. So you kind of have to pay homage to that, because like that's when it counts the most, right? In the playoffs. And Paul Pierce definitely stepped up. I mean, you want to talk about like some of those battles that he had with LeBron James. And I know like P Double's personality rubs people the wrong way. I mean, he played LeBron straight up. Granted, his team was better than LeBron's team, but you simply look at the numbers. LeBron scored 48, he scored 45, and his team won. So I would ultimately have to give the nod to Paul Pierce, even though it pains me to say that about my guy, Melo. But you got to put respect on a guy that was able to get it done in the playoffs and hoist a trophy. Melo never hoisted that trophy in the association.
The 90s and the late 90s, early 2000s just had so many cast of players like that kind of that make people think. Obviously Melo and Wade and those guys. Like, I think a lot of times you take those guys, but like the Vince Carters, the Tracy McGrady's, the Paul Pierces, like guys like that, like they're good talking points. You're not going to put them over the all-time greats, but they're good talking points as far as like comparing careers and saying, well, how about this guy? How about that guy? But Paul Pierce was always a very interesting career. That's for sure. NBA Finals tonight, Game 4. Between the Lakers and the Nuggets, and the Lakers trying to fight off elimination tonight, trying to avoid the sweep. I mean, they take the series against Memphis. They knock out the defending NBA champions, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson and company, and the Golden State Warriors. And then for whatever reason, people kind of got a little overboard and making them the favorites in this. I mean, and then Denver here is just reminding everyone why they've been the best team in the NBA since the very beginning. And then they're the 1 seed on top of it all. I mean, 53-29 overall record throughout the season. But they have a chance right now to close it out on the road. They're under 500 on the road this season. But you could tell it's a mismatch with the Lakers. And the Lakers do not look like they're the better team, not even close. I think we started to fall in love with the idea of LeBron and AD and then the role pieces around there. But there's already talk, say what you want, but Kyrie coming in. Put Kyrie with these guys on the floor. Kyrie's a lot. I get, but on the floor, Kyrie with LeBron and AD and with those supportive characters, and I think Hachimura is going to take a huge step. And I like this Lakers team next year. I think we got to wait for next year. The problem is they could be really good next year, but the Lakers somehow, some way, the miracle of this all is not that they beat Golden State. It's not that they're in the Western Conference Finals. It's that AD stayed healthy. This is like, and I think next year they're going to be a significantly better team. But I feel like they'll get bit in the ass and he'll get hurt and miss a lot of these series. So I think the Lakers missed a golden opportunity of AD staying healthy throughout multiple playoff runs, including this one. But it's over tonight. I think they win tonight, Denver.
I think the Lakers win tonight, but ultimately the Nuggets win back at home. But I'm gonna make this about the team that's been winning and been winning all season. We hear so many talking points, and especially on the Eastern Conference side, about like, oh, the regular season doesn't matter. It's only about the playoffs. The team that the regular season mattered to was the Denver Nuggets, and everything Coach Malone has been talking about all season long was we're not worried about what other teams are doing. We are worried about what we're doing. And that's been their mindset all season long. They're the number one team in the West. And, what they're doing partially is, hey, man, these games fall every other night. We're going to push the pace because guess what? Their best guy, one of the best basketball players of all time, LeBron James, he's old. He's going to get tired. That's what happens to people when they get older. So guess what? He can't be LeBron James if he's out of air. Guess what? He's not Bronny's age no more. He's not Bryce's age anymore. He's not 25 anymore, because if he was, he probably could be able to do some damage. But guess what? He ain't. So keep running. Keep running. And guess what? He'll get tired and he can't do anything. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're pushing the pace like crazy. Jamal Murray in that first quarter on Saturday night. Oh, my goodness. I mean, look, we're all Ohio State fans here. We love D-Lo, but goodness gracious, man. Goodness gracious. He was a cone out there. They called him a cone.
And they put his face on an actual cone.
Oh, my gosh. Now, one thing, I was right about that. I was right about Murray turning him into a cone. One thing I was definitely wrong about, super wrong about, was KCP locking up Reeves. KCP had a very good game on Saturday, but also had a good game, Reeves. Reeves is out here balling. He's out here balling. I know we talked about this on last week's show about, how much money could he possibly get on the open market and how the salary cap is changing and it's going to affect guys like that. Hey, man, we know LeBron James is the best basketball player on the team. We know Anthony Davis is a great basketball player. But without a doubt, he is the third best basketball player on the Lakers. And if the Lakers are dumb enough to let him walk to somebody else, oh, boy, they got to pay this man. I don't know. I'm not talking $150 million, but, they're talking around 3-4 years for $50 million. Find it and pay that man, because you wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for him at all, because not only is he hitting shots, they're running a lot of the offense through him when LeBron James is tired, and they're able to score out of those possessions. Austin Reeves is showing his worth. Pay that man his money, Lakers, or watch somebody else pay him.
Yeah, the problem is, and I don't talk about running LeBron all over. But you look at his stat line. So game 1, 23 points, 12 assists, 7 rebounds. Game 2, 22 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds. Game 3, 26 points, 9 assists, 12 rebounds. He's doing what he's supposed to. Well, you're talking about running up and down. He's drained by those big moments. The problem is AD is supposed to be that counterpart that's supposed to be carrying them in these late situations too. But AD should never want to play with anyone other than LeBron, because AD is the only superstar in the league that when he plays poorly, we still say, and Denver doing a good job taking LeBron out of it. No, AD, he's 38 motherfucking years old. We should be talking about AD not stepping up when this counts. Yes, I'm a LeBron defender, and I still am. But when I hear you and others say LeBron, and I know that you're not doing it this way, but like, oh, LeBron, they're wearing him down. He's this, he's that. He's 38 years old and putting up near triple doubles in every one of these games. AD,
that's why it's important for the Lakers.
Yep.
It's important for the Lakers to get out early so he can rest in the first half.
Well, they did that in game 2. Remember, they were up by 10 at the half and all that.
And then they started chipping away. But so he can have that energy at the back half. But kind of like I said, when this started, these games are every other day. This isn't the first round where he can go pedal to the metal the entire game and then get 2-3 days off the rest. Guess what? The games are just coming faster and faster and faster. There's no time for his body to recover at all. For even anybody's playing those type of minutes. I mean, you saw the Joker on Saturday. He looked winded.
So the Lakers need Kyrie.
No.
Late in these games,
no.
Kyrie, I think they beat Denver if they have Kyrie, in my opinion. I don't even like Kyrie.
Don't do it.
Oh, they're going to do it.
Don't do it.
They talk about getting Chris Paul.
Don't do that either.
Paul. Do not get. I'd take 2 Kyries before Chris Paul.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Goodness.
Don't do either of them. Don't do either of them.
All right. 518-1410. 518-1410. Last thing here. We only have. Let me see how much time we have on this. We got to fill. Well, it's not really fill. Okay, we're over our time. But quickly. I never want to talk about worried about Nuggets, Heat in the finals, and not many people will watch. I think people will watch. Not as many people will watch if it's Celtics, Lakers, but let's be clear. March Madness, you understand that no one really, like the Final Four doesn't generate major ratings. Do you guys not realize that the National Championship doesn't generate major ratings? But we say that March Madness is the greatest postseason tournament in all of sports. It's about the sum of your parts. And as a whole, March Madness is great from beginning to end. The NBA playoffs is not March Madness, but damn it, this has been probably the most entertaining playoffs I can think of in quite some time. I mean, from every matchup, every round, all through this. I mean, that, and even with these both having 2 3-0 series right now in the Eastern and Western Conference Finals, will the finals get a big rating if it's Heat in Denver? I mean, we'll get a huge rating. People will watch, but the bottom line is this has been a beyond successful NBA playoffs, and I don't think it matters. So to try to derail what the playoffs, the NBA has done, go woke, go broke, and all that other stuff, and all this, and whatever. And I was starting to buy into the ratings decline and all that, but that's the Wendy's commercial. But you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, this has been a beyond successful NBA playoffs. Hopefully the Lakers and the Celtics can extend these so we don't have to go 8 days to kill momentum. By the way, that will kill momentum for the playoffs, having to wait 8 to 10 days for game one of the finals. But ultimately, who cares if those ratings aren't great? We see other games, other playoffs too, where the ratings don't go pop off the page as you go further along into it. For one, you're knocking out regions anyway. So who knows? But I don't really care if the ratings for the finals are good or not. Basketball fans will watch.
Lakers win tonight. Celtics get swept. Simple as that.
Okay.
Yeah, he gonna sweep them. They're donezo. Celtics are done.
There's a lot going on over there. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Kenner and Kev, 1410 ESPN Radio. Buckeyes, Browns, Bengals. Jamar Chase has a big-time goal for next season. It's all about him. He wants to set all the individual wide receiver records. Why is he so focused on individual records? You could be focused on it, but why do you have to be so publicly outspoken about it? You can at least pretend to care about the team's success or not. I don't know why you got to be I got to break this record. I got to break team records. Bengals fans got a little mad at me. Trying to celebrate my beautiful wife's birthday over the weekend, and I'm just dealing with Bengals fans. That's on me, though. That's on me. But we'll talk Jamar Chase coming up. Kenner and Cap 14. Keith Tolliver, he goes, I've been waiting on the Jamar Chase talk. Kenner and Cap 1410 Wing AM.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash.
Justin, you're awesome, baby.
Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing in me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Make sure that your home's heating and cooling system is being cared for by your local Lennox Premier dealer, William Brockman & Sons Heating and Air Conditioning. They're offering special saving opportunities on a new Lennox system. So call them today at 937-222-8638 or visit online at DaytonHeatingandCooling.com to learn more. Dealer license number, Ohio license number 14911.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA member FDIC.
Turn your home into restricted airspace. Tell incoming flights you want them diverted. The new Raid Essentials Light Trap plugs into the wall and uses light to attract, then trap flying insects like fruit flies and mosquitoes. Its 24/7 continuous attraction provides insecticide-free protection that's people and pet friendly. Consider air service interrupted. New Raid Essentials Light Trap. Insecticide-free protection.
My plan from Verizon puts you in control. Get exactly what you want. Only pay for what you need. All on the network you want. Head into your local Verizon store now.
Have a hot take of your own that you're just dying to get off your chest? Text or call the ESPN Dayton hotline at 937-518-1410. That's how you can be a part of our local shows throughout the week, like the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, weekdays at 3 p.m., and the Keith Byers Show, Mondays at noon. Call or text the shows at 937-518-1410.
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, back with you here on a Monday. How about this, Kev? DeAndre Hopkins. He's filling out his team dating questionnaire, apparently, and here's what he's looking for in his dream team, his new team. Stable management, a quarterback who loves the game, and a great defense, because defense wins championships. Well, tell that to the Eagles. Because they checked that out. Stable management, defense, quarterback who loves the game. They didn't win the Super Bowl last year, but I see his point. No, I'm joking. But so interesting nonetheless. And he did defend Kyler Murray, by the way. He said his new team, stable management, quarterback who loves the game, great defense, because defense wins championships. But when it comes to the quarterback who loves the game, he stressed Kyler Murray does, but he's injured, and obviously he's going to a new team. So he didn't want people spinning that, saying, see, he doesn't want to be at the Cardinals because he wants a quarterback that loves the game, blah, blah, blah.
List those
loves
requirements
gaming.
again.
He loves gaming. I don't know. No.
List those requirements one more time.
So DeAndre Hopkins, on what he's looking for in a team. This is what he's looking for in a team, according to Ari Mariov here. So stable management, a quarterback who loves the game, and a great defense.
When you hear that, what's the first team that comes to mind?
I mean, that's what I'm pulling up here. That's what I was like, The problem is, too, he's missing out one key component. Cap space. Cap space has to be a component of that. Unless you're going to go, Bengals fans think everyone's going to play for free for their team because, they're just the greatest thing since sliced bread. But you have to go to a team. The problem is a lot of the teams with the cap space don't always check off all those boxes.
Right.
I'm not silly. I think Deshaun and him reuniting makes a lot of sense, but management's not good in Cleveland. You're not going to go there. I don't, Cincinnati, that's not even an option. The Bengals aren't even interested in that. The Ravens. All right. This is my point about all this stuff that went down with Lamar Jackson, Kev. Everyone kept saying how poor of an organization it was because of how it was handled with Lamar Jackson. Well, because now Lamar's paid, are all of a sudden they a good organization?
Right.
This is why I never went. I know, you were questionable of them and stuff, but I was like, I'm staying out of this only because, when they drafted Lamar, they dropped everything. They built everything around Lamar. They put him in a position to win MVP. They put him in position to win games. Now we're supposed to believe they're a bad franchise because they're not giving him the contract that he wants. That was always my rebuttal to a lot of those talking points. So do the Ravens fit that, Kev? Because up until a month ago, everyone, including you, thought it was a bad organization. Are they a good organization now because they got this put behind them? Do the Ravens fit what he's looking for, in your opinion?
They do. But is there room for him? Because you have
$18 million a year OBJ.
You have you have OBJ, you have Rashad Bateman, you have Zay Flowers. This isn't the NFL. Isn't college where you out here running four wides. It just doesn't work that way. Where you out here running the spread offense and throwing it all over the lot. They run 3 receiver sets. That's it. They're not running 4. If you got 4, that means you're throwing a Hail Mary. So I really don't know about that. So that leads me to another team that I was going to ask you about, because the Ravens were on that potential landing spot list that I just drew up real quick. Jets. Are the Jets a destination for him? I mean, obviously they got the quarterback. They got the defense.
No good management. The management thing's always weird to me. My thing is this.
I think all that is cap about the management thing. Whoever got the paycheck is.
Yeah. Management, there's not a lot of good management in the NFL from that perspective. But again, the league's too healthy for us to sit here and say there's so much bad management. You can't have a healthy league like that if it's just full of bad management. But like we sit here all the time.
Sure, you can.
I mean, the Bengals, embarrassingly bad management. They draft Joe Burrow, and now all of a sudden Mike Brown's a genius. Like that's why, like I think the league sometimes, and like I always use the Ravens, like as my rebuttal to you earlier. Like, the Ravens, they looked embarrassing. They did, by the way. Like they didn't look good in the handling of that thing. I didn't mind that they were sticking to their guns, not wanting to pay Lamar, but I mean, it's shaky ground. It's a PR war, and the Ravens were losing that PR war because Lamar is such a liked player. But I didn't think the Ravens are a bad organization. They're a great organization. They just took a PR hit in the deal, in the contract negotiations with them. I just think you're only as stable as your quarterback. The Bengals are proof of that. The Bengals didn't just all of a sudden magically become a great organization. You can't become anything until you get the quarterback right. And I think that at the end of the day, it really should just come down to a quarterback that makes sense and a team with cap space. You can do all the other fluff and the PR stuff you want, but I think it's cap space, Kev, and quarterback. I think at the end of the day, that really is all it comes down to, because I don't know I don't know how many teams fit what he's looking for at this point. That's a realistic team. How about the Bills? He did an interview a while back.
They didn't make my quick thoughts list, but okay, I'll write those down. Not bad.
Who are your teams then?
What about the Saints?
Head coach is not Sean Payton. Defensive-minded head coach on top of that. So I don't know. But a good organization, they win a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a winnable division. And it's the NFC. So you could succeed there, I think. Yeah, I think.
I mean, they have Olave. They have Michael Thomas. I mean, he could be that third guy on there or the number 2 guy, depending on how Mike Thomas comes back.
Derek Carr's a great leader. I don't mind that. I don't mind the Saints. That makes
sense. Okay. We got one we agree on. What about the Dolphins?
I like Tua. I'd say yes. Dolphins I like. But they have Tyreek Hill, and that's why that won't work. But you're just meeting for that checklist. The Dolphins, yes. Tua's not, but he was an MVP candidate until he went out injured. Do I think he was going to win MVP last year? I do not. But at the same time, he's playing he has the capabilities of playing at a high level. So I like that. But yeah, I don't think that'd be his first option, but it's an option.
What do we say about the Bills?
I like the Bills. I like their head coach. I like the organization. Keep in mind, Josh Allen, when he was drafted, they were coming off of a playoff season. It's not like they were horrible, drafted Josh Allen and turned into a good team. He got drafted by a playoff team that traded up in that year's draft, that 2018 draft to get him. I like the Bills. They just, again, that Super Bowl is what they're still chasing. And
what do we say about the Ravens? I like it.
I like it too.
Even though it's 4 receivers. I mean, okay. Browns?
No. Not a good organization. I think Deshaun is the only thing that he would be interested in playing with, but the Browns are not a good until the Browns. Like if the Browns win 12 games this year, maybe even if they don't win the division, they lose the division by a game, make the playoffs, win a game or two, then okay, we could start changing the feel and momentum of the franchise. But I don't think it's an overnight great franchise just because they have a good roster right now. I don't mind the coach. I still think Stefanski's the worst one in the division, even though I like Stefanski. But no, the Browns haven't proven anything yet for me to say that, that's a destination team, even though they have landed guys, but they're not there yet.
All right, 2 more. One wild card. Lions.
The coach is interesting.
Kneecaps.
The front office is interesting. The Lions are just interesting, dude. They're the most interesting team in the league because I don't know. They're everyone's dark horse team. They got some primetime games this year. They have a top 5 offense, but Goff is your quarterback. So I don't know. I don't know if you're Hopkins at this point in your career that you go put all your faith in Jared Goff. I would be hesitant to do that. St.
Brown, good wide receiver. Jameson Williamson, former Buckeye / Bama.
You bet.
Suspended for like 4 games this season. So yay or nay? Yay or nay?
I'm going to say nay.
Okay.
If the quarterback was different. I just don't, even though Goff is good statistically. We did the blind resume test last year. Him and who's the Seahawks quarterback? Why am I drawing a blank? Gino. And then with Joe Burrow, they're all the same. But Joe Burrow is not those guys. Like, no one's taking those guys over Burrow. But statistically, they were the same last year. That's what was wild about that. But very interesting nonetheless.
All right, last one. Your beloved Dallas Cowboys, because it always comes back to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I think they make a lot of sense. They have the money. They have the quarterback. Not a top 5 quarterback, but they have a very, very good quarterback, a very good offense, and an owner that'll spend money. I think ultimately the Cowboys make a ton of sense.
It has to be the Cowboys. It has to be. You have CeeDee Lamb, you have Brandon Cooks, who's like $1 million, and Michael Gallup, who's coming off that knee injury. I know that was like last year, but he played half of the season. So I think the Dallas Cowboys will be fools not to kick the tires on it. I mean, you gave up your tight end. You let him walk in free agency, so you need another big body receiver to get those tough yards like on 3rd and 8 or to go across the middle. So I think DeAndre Hopkins will be a great fit for the Dallas Cowboys.
Here's one more wild card one for you. How about Tampa Bay?
I mean, because they have the great Baker Mayfield.
They have everything else. Baker scares them, I bet.
Baker, they got Mike Evans, they got Godwin.
Baker's biggest issue, and he has a lot, but his biggest issue is if OBJ went to Cleveland and thrived because of him, I don't think we're talking. I think, for one, things go differently in Cleveland, obviously. But, Baker had a big name wide receiver come to him and didn't thrive. So, and people still blame Baker. I don't think it was Baker. I think Baker played a role, and I don't blame Baker. I don't think Baker's as good as what many thought, but I definitely don't think OBJ's as good as what everyone thinks either. They both mutually played a role in that. But Tampa checks off everything else. I don't mind. The coach is solid. Front office is solid. I don't mind the Bucs. I think you go win there. Offensive line's good, balanced run game, good wide receivers. And I think he has, the complement the other wide receivers with him is good too. Cowboys, though, is the only one that you can say that makes sense. The Ravens is being thrown out there because he's close with Lamar Jackson. But the Cowboys, I think, is ultimately where DeAndre Hopkins ends up.
Yeah, I would put it at Cowboys 1, Ravens 2, Fins 3.
If the Chargers don't, if they're get rid of Eckler, they can maybe kick the tire. Look out for the Chargers.
They will have to let Keenan Allen go because they just drafted a receiver in the first round. You're not about to put that guy on the bench.
I like what they got too.
Yeah.
I like what they got. Yeah, that's a lot. But the Chargers though have to be aggressive. You look at there's a lot of teams out there that are like throwing Hail Marys, no pun intended, to make moves like that. So we'll see. But
we'll see.
All right, folks, good stuff. Kenner and Cap 1410 Wing AM. Ryan Strong said clickbait. I'm assuming you restarted the show and are a little behind. I'm not really sure, unless you were talking about the Bengals thing. We'll get to the Bengals. God, you guys are like obsessed with the Bengals. Anyways, Kenner and Cap 1410.
It's only May.
It's only May. It's only May.
Got time.
Too much. Kenner and Cap 1410 Wing AM. We'll be right back.
Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash.